So the first ever time I smoked, I was 15, and the first few times I did it, I didn't actually get high, obviously because I wasn't actually inhaling it properly. And then it came to like the third or fourth time where I was with two of my boys, and after like the first few times I was smoking, I was wondering like why am I not getting high? Like what the fuck? I went and searched it up on YouTube, and it basically explained like I wasn't inhaling it properly, and I watched a tutorial on how to actually inhale. So then, like a week after like the second or third time I smoked, I got back with my two boys. We smoking. I get it. I go, and I blow it out, and I'm just like, this stuff is bullshit, man. Like this doesn't even do anything. Like I'm just sitting there like nothing's happening. So a few minutes go by. I'm just sitting there after I've taken a couple tokes, and my boys are like, do you feel anything yet? I'm like, I feel a little bit like, I feel, thank you. I'm like, I feel like a little something. Like I'm sitting down, I feel like a little tingly, but like I don't feel anything. So they're like, alright, fuck it, whatever. They're like, alright, come, let's go. I was sitting down on a bench, so when I took that toke, I was sitting down on a bench. And I just remember I stood up and it just hit me like a fucking truck. I just remember I stood up and I felt something that I had never ever felt before. Like, it was crazy. Like, I had just never felt that way. And it just felt like I was on a fucking cloud. Like, it felt like the fucking best thing ever. And I remember I just couldn't stop laughing for like 5-10 minutes. And my boys were looking at me like, what the fuck, like this guy's so high. And I just remember it was sort of like a wholesome moment because we were all just laughing together. And I just felt this feeling that I'd never felt before. And it like brought me joy and happiness, and I was like, damn, like this is the fucking best shit ever. So that was when I was around 15, and that was like the first time I ever got high. It was like my third or fourth time that I smoked. And then I would say around 6 to 8 months later, maybe like 9-10 months later, I didn't really smoke at all. I could probably smoke like once every 2 or 3 months. And then after that like 8-9 month period, I was smoking regularly. So 6 to 8 months after that first time I got high, I was smoking regularly. And when I mean regularly, I'd probably say once a week or twice a week. So I would have been around 16 at the time, yeah, 16. I'm 20 years old now. When I got into my first year of uni, so around 2 years later, I was smoking probably 4 or 5 times a week. And during those days, it wouldn't just be like one zoot, it'd be heavy, like it would be 4 or 5 zoots each day. So in those 4 days, it would be like 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, sometimes more spliffs a day. And it's just crazy, like looking back on it, how quickly it progressed. Like after the first time smoking, just 6 to 8 months later, I was doing it every week without fail, like every week, just because I loved it so much and I loved the way it made me feel. And then when I got to uni around a year and a half later, I was doing it almost every day. And as I just got older and as I started doing it more and more, when I was in my first year of uni, I started to realise that it was taking me further away from the place I needed to be at. And I didn't really have an idea of where I needed to be, but I just knew like it wasn't doing me any good. It just wasn't, it wasn't giving me any benefit. And there were many reasons as to why I stopped, but there were like three main ones. And like over time, as I started smoking more and more, I just started to get paranoid when I was getting high. Like I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was just getting paranoid, and I I never used to be a paranoid smoker until that point, until like I just started doing it more and more, and then every time I was high, I was just like questioning everything. I was getting anxious. I was like deep in things. I was getting paranoid, and it just wasn't an enjoyable experience. Whereas before, I would just chill, be happy, like not overthink anything. I would just enjoy whatever I was doing. Like I was still sort of present, if you know what I mean. But then over time, I just started to get into my own head, and it just wasn't enjoyable for me anymore. And that leads into the second reason I stopped, because it was just pointless. It wasn't adding anything to my life anymore. It wasn't benefiting me in any way. Whereas before, I would use it as a way to like have fun with my boy. Like we could go get food, we could go play FIFA or whatever. We could come back and watch a movie, Rick and Morty, whatever. Like we could do those things, but then over time, that stuff just wasn't enjoyable for me anymore. I was just smoking for the sake of it. It didn't make me feel the way I used to feel that first time, where I felt so like happy and joyful inside and I was laughing. Whereas now I'd smoke and after 5 minutes the feeling would go away. Like it would be nice for like maybe 10 minutes to an hour, and then after that I'd be back to normal. And then I would have to smoke again to like continue that feeling. And so it just became pointless for me. Like it just wasn't enjoyable for me. I was getting paranoid. I was just doing it for no reason. I was getting lazy. I was eating junk food. I was watching TV. It was just pointless for me. And the third main reason I stopped was because it was having a negative impact on my health. And I could see it because, like, my throat would hurt for days. Like, that's how much I was smoking. My throat would literally hurt. And sometimes I would just ignore it. I would continue. And the funny thing is, I would say to people around me who I was smoking with, like, whoever it was, I'd just be like, oh, nah, guys, I can't smoke. Like, my throat's hurting a bit. And they'd just be like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, come on, you can just take one toke or one hit. And, like, the fact they were still encouraging me to do that, even though I was basically explaining it was having a negative impact on my health, just shows, like, it shows the kind of environments you're in when you're smoking, right? And the kind of people you're around. Maybe not for all of you, but for me, that's what it was like. I was always persuaded and encouraged by everybody around me to do it, because literally everybody fucking does it. Like, once you get to a certain age, you realize that everybody has smoked at least once. And a lot of people are like stoners, a lot of people smoke. Like, you'll realize it as you get older. But yeah, it got to a point where I was smoking so much, my throat was literally hurting, and it was like I had a bad cough. I remember I was spitting out phlegm and mucus. I was looking at myself like, like my body shouldn't be doing this. Like, I should not feel this way. And so then for me at that point, I wouldn't say it was easy for me to stop, because it wasn't easy, but all those reasons just made it easier. Like, it wasn't easy to stop, but it made it easier. Like, I was paranoid. It was just pointless for me to smoke. I wasn't getting anything out of it. It was like hurting my throat. Like, my throat was hurting. I also like started getting derealization, which, if you guys don't know, it's like when you start to feel dissociated from yourself. You start to feel like you're not even present. it's a weird psychological thing where that you guys can search up, because you guys have definitely like felt it before. I know you have, but I started getting that, and all these reasons are just like, they all just accumulated, and to me it was just like, I need to stop now. Like, I need to like slow down. I need to slow down. And the thing is with me, like, I always knew I could quit if I wanted to, because I always told myself that I wasn't addicted. Like, I always knew I could stop if I wanted to, because I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. So I always knew that I could stop. But like, there wasn't a definitive moment that just made me say, yeah, like, I'm gonna stop forever now. Like, I'm gonna stop. I'm never gonna smoke again. Like, it wasn't like that for me. For me, it was just realizing all those things, realizing it was having a negative impact on my life, because it made me lazy. It made me just like feel bad. It made me paranoid. It didn't make me feel good. Like, there was just no benefit for it to me anymore. And all of those things, combined with the fact that I knew that I could quit if I wanted to, just made me slow down. And like, after I had realized all those things, I just started to slow down over time. I just started to slow down over time. So I was smoking like 3 times a week, cut down to like twice a week. After a few more weeks, still just twice a week. Then like once a week. And then I just like didn't smoke for a long time. And it wasn't like I said, it wasn't like I said to myself, I need to stop, I have to stop, like it's a bad habit, I have to quit it. It wasn't even like that. Like, I had just slowed down, and then it got to a point where I just stopped smoking. And then when it came to a point where I had been offered to smoke again, or the opportunity came across, I declined it. Because in that period of me where I stopped smoking for like the first time in a while, I felt so much better. Like, I wasn't paranoid. I was thinking clearer. I wasn't as lazy. Sorry. And then when I was presented with it again, I like looked at it, I like pictured it in my head, and I was like, what am I actually gonna fucking benefit out of the situation? Nothing. And so I just declined. I said no, and I stopped. And from that point, I would say it's been around a year and a half. So it's been a year and a half since I stopped smoking. I managed to completely cut it out of my life. And it's crazy because it was a big part of my life. And when I stopped smoking, it was funny because people used to say to me, oh, like people that I had like spoke to again after I hadn't seen for a while, they'd be like, oh, you stopped smoking. Like, I never pictured you like stopping. Like, I could never imagine you stopping. That's crazy. Like, good for you, you stopped. And when I speak to people now, when I speak to new people now, when they meet me, they say to me like, I could never imagine that you used to smoke. And it's just crazy when I think about it, because like, it just shows that there's a transformation within myself that took place from me like smoking to completely stopping. Like, people can see the transformation within myself. People used to say to me, I can't imagine that you stopped smoking. Now people say to me, I can't imagine that you ever smoked, that I ever used to blaze. And it's crazy because like, I actually take that as a compliment, because I was just such a fucking bum when I was smoking. Like, when I look back at it, and you guys probably feel it too, you probably realise that you're unproductive, you're lazy, you're slow, you don't feel good when you smoke. Some of you might do, but I think once you've built up the habit of it over time, you just smoke for the sake of it. I know you feel that way because that's how I felt. You just smoke for the sake of it. It's just a habit. It's just a habit now that you just do. that you feel like you need to do. Smoking bud will stop you from everything you've ever wanted. It will make you lazy, slow, and just stupid, like straight up. It will make you dumb. I just remember I used to have such like a bad memory when I was smoking. Like I couldn't remember things I did in the morning. I couldn't remember things I did last week. Like my short-term memory was just fucked. I couldn't focus when I was trying to do work. I had no goals. I had no ambition. And it wasn't until like I had like a wake-up calling. Like I was watching a video from a YouTube influencer, and he sort of like woke me up, because he was just saying like, you have the potential to do better. You have the ability to become the best version of yourself. It wasn't until that point where I actually realized that I needed to do better as well. Like I'd already slowed down on the smoking. At that point, I realized like, okay, I should like just stop. Like it was at that point that I realized it would never be good for me. Like I would never reach my goals if I continued to smoke. And that went for every single bad habit I had: the drinking, smoking, partying, clubbing, like everything. All these bad habits take you away from the goal, because they're not gonna, like, they don't contribute anything to your life. And when I understood that, it just helped me to realize I needed to just let go of it, to stop caring about it, stop worrying about it. If I wanted to reach my goals, I had to stop caring about it, and I just had to let it go. And that's exactly what I did. And like I said, like from that point, I've taken a transformation. I've become such a better version of myself. People even say to me like, I can't imagine you used to smoke. My life got a lot better when I stopped smoking. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't instant. Like it wasn't like overnight where I just felt a million times better. No, like it took a good full year for me to actually transform my life properly. But it was a gradual process where I just started to become better and started to have more clarity within myself. And don't get me wrong, there are still people who smoke and are productive. Like there are still people like that. Like Nate Diaz, he's a UFC fighter. Like he made it to the UFC, and this guy like smokes weed every week. There's like YouTube influencers who smoke. There's actually a few athletes I know who smoke weed. But when I look at it in total, it's very few people who are actually productive. And if you're being honest with yourself, you watching, yeah, when you smoke, you aren't productive, are you? Like, let's be honest, you sit down, watch TV, you want to eat junk food, you probably do some other bullshit, like just lie in your bed for fucking 10 hours scrolling. Like, you are unproductive when you smoke. And the thing is, you can try and be productive when you smoke, but it becomes harder because you've already built the habit of relaxing when you smoke. Like, it's already a trigger in your brain that when you smoke, you want to go and relax, and you want to go and seek comfort, and you want to go do all this other bullshit. So if you haven't already been productive, then you can't really do that now, if you get what I'm saying. Because when you smoke, you'll just associate it with TV, Rick and Morty. I just remember that was my go-to. Getting the munchies, like just fucking getting Five Guys or whatever. Like that's what your brain's gonna associate it with. So it won't work. Like you won't be productive when you smoke. And you know that, like I shouldn't have to tell you that, because I already know like that's what you do, because that's exactly what I did. And I came across this video on Instagram. There's a reel of these two guys who were like, you have to earn your vices. And so what they did, they like worked their job. They made like £500 for the day or something from their job, or like £300 each. These two guys, and they went on a 5K run. They went on like a big run, and then at the end of the day, they smoked and ordered pizza. And you know what? Fair enough. Like that's okay. but smoking weed and ordering pizza every day, really? Is that really going to take you closer to your goals? Fuck no. And people talk about balance and how you should reward yourself and stuff, which is true. Like, you can reward yourself, but you don't need to reward yourself with a fucking zoo and a pizza. Like, and plus, even when you do that, you're just gonna want to do it again. I'll put it this way, right? So let's say there's those two guys, and then there's another two guys who do the exact same thing. They both make their money, they both go on the runs. But these two smoke and eat pizza. These two guys they just didn't smoke or eat pizza. They just ate a normal meal. They just ate a normal meal, like it could be pasta or whatever. Who do you think is going to be more successful out of the two? Probably the guy who didn't need to reward himself. Probably the guy who didn't choose to smoke because he knows it's fucking bad for him. But but yeah, like, don't get ideas when I say there are productive people who smoke, because it's very rare. And me and you both know when you smoke, you're not going to be productive, are you? And that's just the way it is. When I actually stopped, I started to become better. I started to transform. I started to think clearer. I started to build better habits. I started to break all my bad habits. I started to realize that I had strength in myself, because I was able to stop this bad habit that I had built up for ages. And I had managed to stop it. And everyone around me had continued to do so. And I realized, like, they're going to do that. They're going to go here. I'm going to go here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I started to be able to tell I was different, because I stopped and these people hadn't. And once I realized that, I could quit all my bad habits. Once I stopped, I realized I was never addicted to anything. I built discipline within myself. I built strength within myself. I realized that I could stop doing these bad habits. And once I understood that, it made me so much better, because I started to do good habits. I started to become more ambitious. I started writing down goals. I started wanting to achieve more in life. I wanted more after that. I just became such a better person, and my life changed for the good, like for better. My life took a drastic transformation. And if I just compare myself now to the person I was a year and a half ago when I was smoking, the changes, I don't want to gas myself up, but the change is amazing. I'm such a better person now. I have quit every single bad habit I used to have. I have built many, many, many good habits, and I've been repeating them over and over and over for about the past 6 to 8 months. And I'm now on this journey of just becoming better, and this journey of self-improvement. And the thing is, people say like that journey might be boring, or it might not give you satisfaction and comfort. There's two lives you can choose, right? There's the degenerate life where you can smoke, drink, party, and then there's a good life where you can work out, read, focus on your business, work, and get fucking rich. And the thing is, they're actually both as fun as each other. The only thing with this is that it deteriorates your health, and the thing with this is that it improves your health. So, and what I mean by like they're both just as fun as each other. On this side, like you can have fun, you can party, you can drink, but you feel like shit. On this side, you can work towards your goals, you can do the hard things, you can do the good habits. But the thing is, when you do those good habits, you feel better within yourself because you realize you have the capability to become better. You have the potential to do something fucking great. And when you realize that, you become much more happier. Like when I look at my old self, I'm just like, wow, like I was such a fucking bum. Like I can't believe I used to act that way. And now I'm on this journey of improvement and becoming the best version of myself. And I'm in love with the journey of it. I'm not in love with the idea of becoming this best version of myself, although like that is the main goal. But the journey of becoming better, breaking the bad habits, building the good habits, trying new things, the journey of just progressing, that's the enjoyable part. And you guys can do this too. Like, I was just a normal guy. I was just a normal kid who just smoked a lot of fucking weed. Until I just realised that there's more to life than sitting in a room, smoking weed and playing video games. There's more to life than staying in your fucking hometown and smoking with all your mates that live around you. There's a lot fucking more to life than that. And you have the potential to achieve it. You just need to realise that. You just need to realise it. And I promise you, once you do, you will become better. But yeah, I think that's enough ranting from me. I just want you guys to understand that you can quit smoking. You can stop smoking weed. Like, it is going to be hard. But if you just gradually slow it down, if you just gradually start to realise what you can become once you stop, if you realise your potential as a man, if you realise the gift you have to become better, to find your purpose, to find your mission, and to work towards that every single fucking day, that is more enjoyable than doing some degenerate bullshit that has no impact on your life. No positive impact on your life, sorry. I am the best version of myself I've ever been, and I will continue to grow. I haven't smoked in a year and a half, and I'm literally focused on my health now. I'm focused on my body, my mind, my emotional health, and I feel like a fucking superhuman. Like, it's just so much better once you realise what you're capable of and what you can actually do with your body, what you can do with your mind, what you can do with your emotions, how you handle them. So yeah, that's how I realised I needed to stop, how I stopped, and what my life is like now. Stay disciplined.